I'm Healing Wolf, here to sail with you on the ocean of recovery. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and then a slow exhale through the mouth. Is your recovery TBA? TBA stands for thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It also stands for to be announced, right? So TBA is a good way to remember, good mnemonic for remembering how your recovery unfolds. It unfolds with thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So TBA. So on our recovery journey, we're going to be mindful of our thoughts. Thoughts come and go. They're generated by unconscious mind. And if we're on a journey of recovery from something like chronic pain or panic, our thoughts can go into a protective mode, just like those sensations themselves. So the thoughts can be negative. They can be designed by unconscious mind to get us to hide, to get us into an adrenaline fight state or a flight state. They can really be instigating, inflammatory, and literally inflammatory. So if you have a blood test taken when you're having really negative thoughts, you're going to have more inflammation in your blood. If you have a brain scan when you're having negative catastrophic thoughts, you're going to have more measurable physiological inflammation, especially in the areas of your brain related to your emotions. And that's where all of these protection sensations end up and hang out on a recovery journey, in your limbic system, in your emotional system. So thoughts, what kind of thoughts do we want to have? We want to keep a mind that is moving in a direction of where we want to go. So we want to have as uplifting a thought as possible. So if we're moving through our day and we notice maybe that we're spiraling into some negative thoughts, we can shift that by stepping outside, taking a deep breath, and just having the thought, I'm so happy to be breathing. We can have a thought, I'm so thankful for the sunlight on my skin. It feels really good. So the thoughts are usually gratitude thoughts. The gratitude thoughts are the best way to keep your thoughts moving in the recovery direction. Next, B, the B in TBA, beliefs. Beliefs are reinforced by your thoughts and your actions by what you choose to focus on. So if you watch videos like this, it helps to build your belief that you're on a recovery journey. If you believe that you're going to recover, it's inevitable that you will. Okay? So your beliefs are able to influence your unconscious mind, which controls everything in your body. All right? So that's how it's working. The beliefs are extremely powerful. If you believe that you're healthy, and you really hold that belief, then your unconscious mind will align things to bring you into that state of health. Now, negative beliefs work in the opposite way. So if you, like, I spoke to a woman over the weekend who was diagnosed with a disease, and she believed that the disease was incurable. She held that belief because the doctor had told her that, and Dr. Google told her that too, but I would say to that belief that they haven't found a cure yet. And then you could also realize that there's probably someone who was diagnosed with that disease who doesn't have it anymore, who recovered from it. who went into, sometimes they'll call it remission, sometimes they'll call it recovery. The doctors don't know why. Advanced stage cancers can disappear. There are all kinds of interesting recovery stories out there. And I guarantee you that most of those recovery stories, if not all of them, were fueled by the belief that, a simple belief, I can recover. I'm going to get better. I'm recovering. So that on my journey, I wrote songs even to drive this message home. I have a song called Brighter Days Await Us All under the Winterlings YouTube channel. And my friend Courtney Amundsen actually covered that as well. Look up on YouTube, Brighter Days Await Us All. Wolf Winterlings, W-O-L-F-F, Winterlings, W-I-N-T-E-R-L-I-N-G-S. So beliefs, getting those beliefs deep within you. And that's what I do with clients. I connect directly with my clients' unconscious minds and deliver the intention, the belief, the path forward. So unconscious mind knows exactly where it's going. Next, actions. TBA, actions. You take action, right? So my clients are great at taking action. They reach out to me, they hire me, they say, hey, I'm ready to get this done. I'm ready to accelerate my recovery. Then they're super courageous and they step out into life and they do things that they've been afraid to do, and they unwind their triggers and they begin to transform their mindset. Their mindset shifts into the beliefs, into new thoughts, the belief that I'm going to recover, and moving into action. So everybody I know on my recovery journey went through a time where they were almost immobile. They felt locked down, whether it was by anxiety or panic or chronic pain. I myself was bedbound, just immobilized. And the action of moving out of that tells unconscious mind that you're transforming, you're moving into a new state of mind, and that these sensations that were designed to protect the body from death are no longer relevant, they're no longer needed, they're just old memories playing out. So taking action, going to the gym, going swimming, going in a sauna, doing things that may feel uncomfortable, because those uncomfortable things can actually be extremely healthy. Eating stuff that's unusual. If someone has been on a journey with gastritis or irritable bowel and they've limited themselves down to just eating rice and chicken, well, it might be time to eat something else, to move into eating some fresh produce, to eating some mangoes, to eating some pineapples, to expanding. And with the thoughts, beliefs, and actions, there's this overarching idea or this overarching philosophy of not allowing uncomfortable thoughts, beliefs, or actions to guide us. We decide what we think. Even though thoughts can be randomly generated, we can also decide to think thoughts multiple times during the day, even writing them on note cards, pieces of paper, reminding ourselves, repeating them out loud, affirmations. And the beliefs that we hold are built over time. Think about religious beliefs. How do you keep those alive? Well, you read scripture, you read whatever scripture is your religion. You read the Bible, the Quran, the Buddha's sutras, whatever it is. And those beliefs go deeper. And many people hang out with people who share those beliefs. So those other people can speak those beliefs to them, and back and forth and back and forth. I find that in my limited analysis, that the people who have the strongest beliefs, the strongest faith, they no longer need to talk about it as much. They're no longer quoting Bible verses to you. They're no longer speaking all of the time about this stuff. They just hold the faith. They've got a deep belief. It's built in. So if they don't go to church for a month, they're still going to have that deep belief, that deep faith in God. And the most faithful, the deepest believers, they just close their eyes and they're with God. They're just in it, and it's beautiful. So think about beliefs that way. It's repetition, right? Thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Repetition. All three of those on your healing journey. You repeat, you repeat, you repeat. And if you feel like your faith is weak, I guess, so to speak, I know that sounds negative, but what do? You go to church more. You read the Bible more all the time. And I'm not being judgmental, but if your faith in God, if your connection with God was direct, if your connection with your healing is solid, you don't have to do as much work. You're already almost there. You just need to continue to take action, because after a while, all of this becomes automatic, right? If you have mystical, spiritual, religious experiences, then your faith just locks in. And you know God's got you. You know that however you choose to perceive, that the experience is already built into you, all right? So please subscribe to this channel and drop a comment of how you're building your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. Let me know how that's going, because maybe you're doing something that's going to be super helpful for the community. And that's what I'm building here, community. Over on Facebook, I have Healing Den. It's a Facebook group, a community, and I continue to invite people to that group, and people continue to request to be in the group because they're finding benefit there. I've also got a free consult call. If you're ready to hire me as a coach and you want to see how we fit, how we can strategize together, head over to my website, healingwolfcoaching.com. I've got a mailing list for a newsletter, and when you sign up for the newsletter, you get a free somatic meditation, a very powerful one called The Rose Teaches the Thorns How to Pray. So thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Get to it. Enjoy it. Make it fun. Make it creative. And I'll see you in the next video.